So it's becoming more and more common to have high-end sports cars getting stolen. Case in point, the Camaro ZL1. It's actually 39 times more likely to get stolen than your average car. In fact, in 2004, it was the most stolen car that is. And if you're like me, I'm very paranoid about my car getting stolen or just broken into and stuff. So I have a set of security systems that I'm going to talk about in today's video. So thanks for tuning in, guys. And like I said, we are talking security measures like the ones I have on my C8 Z06, but they can go for any ride that you have, whether it's your daily driver, your sports car, your recreational vehicle, anything that you got. These are the security measures that I have on my car. It's what I trust to have on my car to give myself the best chance of not only preventative measures, but things caught in the act, to even afterwards, worst case scenario, somebody ends up still stealing this car somehow, and having a good GPS tracker that is completely independent. And I'm not talking some things like OnStar or like an simple AirTag. I'm talking like a full-on independent GPS tracking system that is discreet, that a thief is not going to be really looking for it, especially, and if they do find it, it's probably going to be too late, and everything's logged into, so you're going to know where that last position was, where a thief might have been trying to steal it and trying to hide it, but you know exactly where it is, and you can tell the cops where to find your car. So we're going to talk all three in this video. It's one of those things that even some of this stuff, like the throttle kill switch, is actually recognized by certain insurance companies and actually can lower your rates, which in today's, market for insurance and stuff like that, that's a big deal because insurance is freaking expensive for these kind of cars especially. So talking about the throttle kill switch, what do I have on my C8 Z06? Well, it's actually just a special feature of what I have. It's a throttle controller and it comes from Solar Performance. Now, if you guys have been long-time viewers of the channel, you know I've talked about this throttle controller for a while now, but it is something worth mentioning over and over again because literally this thing is only $200, and if any of these things are appealing to you, I have discount codes that you can put towards these kind of purchases should you choose to buy them. Now, this throttle controller is not just for like my C8 Z06. They sell it for a whole bunch of different sports cars, and it does allow you to change up your throttle mapping so you can get a little bit more of a linear, more aggressive throttle response than you would typically from the OEM, which is kind of ramped up, so it's a little bit lazy unless you're mashing the gas down. But we're not here to talk about that in particular, that function, that main function, but the actual side function that this throttle controller has, and it is a throttle kill switch. Now, this is something very discreet that actually works with your phone. You don't need to actually have the little module that you can see. You can actually completely hide the whole entire system, so a thief wouldn't even know that it's there unless they specifically knew what item to look for. And even if that is the case, at least for the C8 Corvette, the only way you're going to really defeat it is only if you have a 10mm socket, because you can't even get to the part unless you have that socket, what thief is going to have that? The most that they're going to be tech savvy is cloning your RFID on your actual car keys kind of deal. That's the only thing that they're going to be able to really defeat. But if you have the throttle kill switch activated, they're not going to be, aside from creeping along at like 3 miles an hour, they're not going to be able to go anywhere with this thing. So it literally kills the throttle, so that even if they're able to turn it on, even if they're able to get it kind of moving by like creep, they're literally only going to be able to creep along. And even then, they're going to be freaking out trying to figure out why the heck this car can't move. I kid you not, it would take them quite a while to figure it out, even if they knew exactly what was going on. So for me, that throttle kill switch is such an essential piece, and it only costs like $200, $220, depending if you use my discount code, you can save yourself a little bit of money, get it a little bit cheaper kind of deal. And it works for like all different kinds of sports cars, whether it's a C8 Corvette, it works for Audis, Porsches, like Camaros especially, Dodges. They are especially susceptible, like I was mentioning before. As of 2024, it was the most common stolen high-end sports car, which is kind of sad to hear. But in any case, this throttle controller and kill switch work on all those different kind of brands. You just have to select your specific model on their website, and it's a simple install that takes less than 20 minutes. With maybe just a couple of hand tools, if that. It's super, super easy to do. If you're wanting more details, I have a full review video about it kind of deal. But look, again, if you're just looking for something that is like a throttle kill switch, this works really, really well. And again, it is recognized by other insurance companies out there. So that's my preventative measure on my C8 Corvette. Now, talking about in the moment, in the action of somebody messing with your car kind of deal, I have a dash cam that I use, and it is the Vantrue E360. Now I have the Plus version, which contains also the rear camera, and that camera is a 360 camera that is a dash cam. And it works phenomenally, especially for smaller cars like my C8 Corvette, where it's just a two-door, but it gets just the side shots especially really, really well. And it has the ability to be actively on while the car is off. Essentially, it's called park mode. And it has two different types of park mode that you can use. You can either use it in where it's motion activated, that it will activate and record everything if it senses anything nearby in motion. A nice feature of that is that if the motion sensor gets triggered, it actually pre-records 10 seconds before the actual recording of whatever triggered it. So it'll capture everything that is going on. If somebody's like trying to look into your car or whatnot, it's really, really cool in that feature. Everything in 4K 360-degree view, so it's really, really cool. Again, I've done a full review of that product as well. So if you want more details, you can definitely check out that video. If you're interested, I also have links in the description so you can check out too. And then the second function of the park mode is like vibration mode, where it'll sense any kind of vibration and then activate that way as well. I prefer the motion activated. It's a little bit more preventative in regards to being able to capture things before they actually happen. In the vibration mode, it doesn't necessarily do that. So just something to kind of keep in mind. Now, one thing I will add on to that function is that it does drain the battery quite a bit, especially if you're just leaving your car, just you don't drive it on the daily kind of deal. But thankfully, there is another item that I actually added on to the whole entire security system, and it is an actual like external battery, like just a battery bank that is specialized, that it can hook up to the fuse box to the car, and then that connects to the dash cam. And that gives me 30+ hours of recording by itself before it even touches the battery. It comes from 70 MAI, and it is their battery bank that works with any dash camera that you have. It doesn't have to be the one that I just mentioned, which is huge, so that I could leave this car for like a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, a month at that point, depending, and it will not drain the battery down to like the minimum, which then you're worried if the car is going to even turn on kind of deal. So again, I do a full review of that in itself, which is a really, really cool item, super easy to install. And the best thing about it is that the battery bank recharges itself when the car is on, and it's actually smart enough to not start trying to recharge itself until after the car has been on for 30 seconds. So it won't be acting as a parasitic drain to start the car on, like kind of deal. So it's actually really cool and smart enough in that regards, which I really like. But again, having that combination is like essential, that I know I can leave my car somewhere and it'll let me know if, hey, the motion sensor has been triggered, you might want to check out this video on the actual dash cam. And it all works with your phone as an app, so you can download it directly. You don't have to necessarily take out the SD card, put in your laptop to see the video. You can have it set up in your phone to just see what's there and even download directly to the phone. And then absolutely worst case scenario, somebody still ends up stealing this car somehow. If they defeated the throttle kill switch and the dash cam wasn't a deterrent enough, all that kind of stuff, and they still ended up stealing the car, I still have the independent GPS tracker that actually comes from CarLock. Now, I did a full video, I actually did a couple of videos on their GPS system. It's freaking awesome. It works completely independent of anything that you have like standard on the car, like OnStar, and it's much better than AirTags that can easily be detected, even if you like just by simply having a phone, like an Apple phone kind of deal. So it's not something you want to like just rely on just AirTags. This thing is way more powerful than that, and it works with a cloud system so that it records exactly where the car is at all times kind of deal. So I know that might be something, I know that might be like a meh to some people, but the fact of the matter is I'm really the only person driving this car, and I'm the only one that needs to know exactly where this car is at all times. And the system itself is really, really cool. It comes in two different versions, where you can have one that's a discrete direct connect to the battery, which is what I have on the Z06. And then there's an OBD version where you can use a discrete connector that'll hook into the OBD, and then you can hide the module elsewhere so it's not just sticking out of the OBD directly. So two different versions that both work the same exact way, and it works directly with your phone and tracks exactly where your car is. And it actually has a few accessory items that are really cool, including this car tag. I can actually show you the car tag right now. This little car tag right here, which basically that little car tag automatically arms and disarms the car, or not the car, but the actual GPS tracker based off of me walking to and from my vehicle. So if I'm walking away from my vehicle, like let's say I'm going to the movies or going to the mall or something like that, and I walk away with my vehicle, it automatically arms and disarms, so you're not having to do it manually via the phone app to actually turn it on and off. So a really, really cool feature that all for a really good price. I mean, in general, you can get the GPS tracker like for about 65 bucks, and then like an extra 20 bucks for the car tag, which is not bad for complete independent GPS tracking. Now, the one caveat I will say is that it's subscription based, so you do have to pay a monthly subscription. It's not really too bad to get like the basic plan. It's like 10 bucks a month, and that gives you like 30-second refresh rates kind of deal. If you want faster than that, it's a little bit more expensive, but not by really much. And honestly, for the peace of mind that I have for it, I think it's well worth it. And then there's other accessory items like the vibration sensors that I also did a video on, which basically add vibration sensors to the car. The actual GPS modules themselves have a vibration sensor in them, but these are just a little bit more sensitive. You can put them on the doors or on the trunk, so that if anybody like either opens or closes your door and you're not by your car and the car is armed, and the GPS tracker is armed, it'll let you know, hey, somebody is by your car messing with your car, and it's not you messing with your car kind of deal. So really, really cool feature that I know when the tracker is armed, that even if somebody were to be able to still steal this car, I can let the police know exactly where the car is so they can go and get it. But yeah, it's one of those things that I'm seeing more C8 Corvettes, just cars in general, getting more stolen, more high-end cars getting stolen. And I figured this would be a good video to kind of put together of all the different security systems that I have on my car that I trust with my car, and I definitely would recommend to you guys. So, because frankly, if you have a really nice car and you want to make sure that it's protected the best way possible from getting stolen, because that's just like the worst feeling ever, or even just getting broken into, these are the kind of preventative measures that will definitely help you out. So, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please check out any of my other videos, and we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.